Want to know a secret? Well, can I be totally honest with you? I used to wonder why my shadow followed me. I had a heaviness that I carried with me everywhere I went. I would try to fix myself, but I always ended up back where I started. I would wonder, why don't I enjoy my life? How do I get out of my own way? Why does everything seem to suck so much? Then I discovered this secret. There are pillars in this life that hold you up and lift you up and over. These pillars change everything and helped me escape the foul hell of my own mind. I discovered every moment has the potential for misery and happiness. But we choose either in the moment over and over. Our choices build momentum. Positive choices can make you feel fresh and new, and negative choices create dull inertia. Simple, right? But here's the problem. The trick is that some things that we think bring happiness actually bring suffering. These are often momentary pleasures that lead to suffering, like indulging in sweets. Tastes great, but eventually creates disease, which is a large price to pay. I wanted to know what brings lasting fulfillment, not just a momentary spike. Good things are often bitter at the beginning, but sweet at the end, like disciplining yourself to exercise. Bad things are often sweet initially, but bring negative long-term results. So, yes, if the end is good, then the action is good. We know it. For example, indulging in sweets is death. It's often accompanied by emotional pain of guilt, and it can lead to physical pain through chronic disease. Exercise, on the other hand, makes a strong body, clear mind, and better health. Even though it initially is hard, the end is good. I started to seek out these pillars and higher choices. I became obsessed, and slowly I caught fire. It started to build momentum and take on a life of its own. But, it can all be very difficult. Sometimes I knew I was supposed to be nice or to do the right thing, but there was an inner part of me that was locked into being rude or doing a particular repetitive behavior. I couldn't stop myself. This created an inner resistance. I was split in two. One part of me wanted to choose a better way of goodness. One part of me was a corrupt degenerate. These contradicting attitudes were in constant competition, a rivalry within and with each other. They were constantly fighting for superiority. For example, I would know the best thing to do, and an inner inertia, momentum, or this weird, funky state of mind would make it hard to actually do and act on that inner knowing. So it's an inner battle, the war with the shadow, slowly letting go and choosing a better way. Sometimes I win and I can act on a better way, but sometimes the shadow wins and the shadow momentarily takes the driver's seat and feels like it swallows me whole. Slowly, I win a few of those battles, and those stuck states faded away. I become just a little bit nicer when I choose compassion over anger, love over fear, selflessness over destructive desire. This helped me discover something interesting. Through these productive choices, they made my mind become less turbulent, and then I became more naturally fulfilled. I didn't need anything to be happy. I just was happy. In the beginning, I would still ride the ups and downs, but I would eventually find myself back to that inner peace I was creating. Eventually, those self-created shadows burned out, and your eyes become bright. You shine like the sun, and then the possibilities are endless. Taste the sweetness of the moment. Here's how. When we make a goal, we can often approach it with an attitude that sabotages. We all know that there are good choices and bad choices, but when we can find a way to motivate ourselves to step outside of our comfort zone and even to attempt something worthwhile, we often try and fail. Luckily, there are attitudes that you can adopt that will support your success. So let's consider a fuller picture. What do you do when you feel like quitting? Do you go to the end or do you stop halfway? One part simply is discipline to do what you need to do, yes, but the hidden thing that we never talk about is how we stop after we get to our goal. We're object driven. So why would you stop doing something you love or something you need to do or something that is good for you? Think about it. Are you driven to an end and then give up? Or are you simply going to be driven to do what needs to be done? Driven, period. Or goal-driven, object-driven. Then fizzle out and bounce around to the next thing. Listen, just imagine this. Some people say things like, I'm going to lose 10 pounds or 10 kilos. They work hard and do what they know is right. They eat healthier, they get more exercise, they sleep better, so they reach their goal, their end. And many times, they stop doing what they themselves thought was best for themselves. No substantial long-term, long-lasting gains come from this, especially when you compare it to what's possible. So, do you stop and start, or are you timelessly committed? There is a better way. It's about keeping going when you hit your goals and live that process-orientated life instead of a goal and done life. To be truly committed is to practice with firm faith, determination, and perseverance when times get tough. Set this expectation for yourself and be gentle when you can't live up to it. Each day is new and just keep trying. What do you believe in? What is important to you? Are you busy working on it? It can be helpful to have goals along the way, but I'm offering that it's better to be committed to the process instead of doing one thing and then go in another direction. For many people, it's all about the goal. It's only about the goal. Now, it is impossible for me to reach the highest of my heart's desires without this simple, timeless commitment that's not bound to one end. But when you get to your goal, just simply ask yourself, is it better to continue on that path instead of what most people do and turn back around and run in a different direction? How can you truly achieve anything great if after hitting a target, you stop shooting? Many times, eventually going back to where you started. To truly grow in your joy, it's beneficial to cultivate timeless commitment. This can be a reliable first pillar to step by step realizing even more of your potential. Greatness grows from the seeds of timeless, endless, unbroken commitment. If you have to drink the ocean to get to your goal, start one cup at a time. If you need to move mountains, start by picking up a rock. Adopt this attitude and success in your actions will follow. Do you eat every day, or do you eat a week's worth of food every Sunday? Do you water your plants consistently, or give them a year's worth of water once a year? Sunlight shines every day. In fact, it even shines all night, even though it's out of our sight. So there are a few hidden discoveries in that. Have you ever noticed what happens when you let your responsibilities sit unattended? They don't magically resolve themselves. The bills don't pay themselves. Your teeth need to be brushed, and most things need maintenance. Things almost begin to rot, in a sense, unless consistently maintained. They need your attention consistently, or else the problems that come from neglect will build and grow. Bill collectors will call, and your finances and credit will be ruined. Your teeth will be damaged or fall out prematurely. And generally, there will just be this slow breaking down or destruction if things are left unattended. But there's a gift in this that can change everything. As you know, you too in your life benefit from being consistent with your responsibilities and what's important to you. Consistency is the theme. A little bit every day is better than leaving things for long periods without attention. Consistently work towards creating the best version of yourself and what you want to create. Experience your own evolution in mind, body, and emotion. Because eating a little bit every day is much better than eating a year's worth once a year. Like oil in an engine, we can actively engage in positive emotions of gratitude to reduce friction. It can make your actions feel smoother. When practiced, it feels like you are in harmony with yourself and the world. Here's why. The mind takes the shape of what it focuses on. With simple reverence and respect fixed in your mind, you can accomplish great things. This helps you be like the flower who floats on top of muddy water, undisturbed by the waves of the day. This can be your little grain of sand that gives rise to a pearl. As you know, great goals worth working towards can be very difficult. So difficult that our mind often lacks trust if it's even going to happen. There are a lot of doubts and often not enough passion to even believe what's possible. An attitude of gratitude can lift us up and over that friction. We can sidestep many of the challenges because it's not only where you're going, it's about how you're going to get there. Your positive attitude and constructive outlook determines a lot. Who you are is just as important as what you do. With this understanding in mind, you're not only practically adopting a more successful mindset, but also stepping into a version of yourself that is more in line with the refined capabilities of mankind. So, once this attitude is adopted, it helps you perform your daily duties free from negativity, even if it operates. So what that means is you float above it. This attitude is a way to gracefully sidestep and eventually dissolve negative emotions. In addition to that, it can also lead to an intuitive, heightened awareness. With gratitude in the mind, it is as if you will never step incorrectly. It's as if every step you take is perfect because your mind is always experiencing greatness. Poorly understood by most, but for the one who can suspend belief and practice this reverence, this gratitude, it's as if you will never go wrong. But there's more to the story than a proper approach. These pillars of timeless commitment, consistency, and reverence on their own can be helpful. But what happens when you are still led by that restless, unsatisfied mind? There's this inner secret to the seemingly endless cycles of worldly miseries, discomfort, and torment. What if they could fall away naturally? Let's dig a little deeper. Let's walk through the whole process and see what is down the rabbit hole. What might you find in Pandora's box? Her hope, or sickness, death, and many evils? What's through the looking glass?
Ryan here. Thank you so much for your love and support and sharing this story with your friends and family. This video reveals how the themes of timeless commitment, consistency, and reverence are not only truths for your mind, but also for your heart. Our goal together is to share a message of positive transformation and internal freedom. Because together, when our minds and hearts are stretched and expanded beyond their previous limits, we're changed forever, for the better, and we bring that change to the world through every person you meet. Believe in yourself, this mission, and please tell us your story in the comments, and share this with your friends. I invite you to support this community and let me know how I can help. Thank you so much for watching.